Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta admit to you, this is probably the funniest thing that I've read in quite a bit. I was sent messages from Alyssa Mercante and Nick Calandra, and both of these were sent to me, obviously because I have, first off, I'm blocked by Nick Calandra, and Alyssa Mercante, I've personally blocked. So again, I have no ways of seeing their stuff. I'm not gonna go through an incognito window or all this other nonsense, but people still send me things. Normally I ignore it, but this one I couldn't ignore. I got a message about what Nick Calandra has been saying, and apparently he is bowing out of the battle.
I accept your surrender.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Calandra is openly admitting publicly on his Twitter account that he is bowing out of the fight against not only Grums, but apparently everyone else. So much for all this legal action that they've been threatening, both him and Alyssa Mercante. And I gotta wonder, now that Nick Calandra is bowing out of the fight, what is Alyssa Mercante gonna be doing? Because God knows she can't afford to do anything by herself. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So we have a post here from Alyssa Mercante. We've gone over this before, but I feel like it's important in the context of the overall conversation right now. So we're going to go over it again really quick for those that might not have seen it. It says, update, I have some incredibly promising conversations with a few law firms, and I feel super confident in my next steps. However, this shit will get expensive fast, especially if I decide to go down certain paths. Should I crowdfund? Does anyone know any unmarried octogenarian millionaires? Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, going back to her original profession that she has openly spoke about publicly, she seems to be wanting to go towards the grift of sex work in order to get her legal fund. And it's weird because it's very obvious that nobody is going to want to take this case. And she's trying to grift on this and try to make money off of this, ladies and gentlemen. It's very clear that she's trying to go down the let's pretend like we're going to do legal action route just so we could do a crowdfund and get a ton of money from idiots who think that they're going to own the CHUDS. And then what's going to end up happening is she's going to say, well, you know, we tried and nothing could happen, but hey, I get to keep your money, right? You guys are absolutely falling for this. It's amazing to see so many people fall for this. We even have somebody in the comments by the name of Corliss who says, I think you'd get some decent support crowdfunding, though versus legal fees, I don't know. The fact that you even think that this previous hooker was going to be able to get crowdfunding on her battle against the CHUDS online, it's ridiculous. And she's trying to marry unmarried millionaires. It's a joke at the end of the day. She even says, Phil Spencer, I can drop my Venmo. I mean, the girl's getting 2 likes for God's sakes. I mean, what are we really doing here? So that's the funny part, okay? She's been threatening legal action against Smash JT and probably myself, honestly, for a while now, and I have yet to receive anything, obviously. And there's some people out there saying, well, she could probably afford letters, but that's basically it. She's not going to be able to afford much else other than, you know, legal letters that are going to go absolutely nowhere, just like what happened with Black Girl Gamers. You guys remember that whole situation where they sent out a legal letter to that Park Place threatening legal action that they didn't stop, and that Park Place said, okay, well, go for it because we're not stopping. And guess what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it always will be that way. Now we have a post here from Nick Calandra. So he got asked a question. He said, from McDizzle Gaming, it says, question for you, man. I was really looking forward to the Grums video on his business dealings. Is that still on its way? And Nick Calandra says, not from me. I got too caught up in it personally, so I'm removing myself from it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a massive precedent when it comes to gaming urinalists, ladies and gentlemen. These people have lived their entire lives over the last 10 years being bullies against gamers. They have been in control of the mainstream narrative that they thought they can use the same exact strategies, go from the same exact playbook, and expect to get the same results that they got years ago. Guess what? Things are different now. I've been trying to say this for I don't know how long now with Nick Calandra and Alyssa Mercante and other people like them. You guys do not have control over the mainstream narrative anymore. You are as irrelevant as you could possibly get. Nick Calandra needs to just focus on his Patreon and continue to get money from that and live a normal life. This man does not have any control over the narrative, and there is way more support on the side of gamers than will ever be on the side of gaming urinalists. You do not have anywhere close to the army that we do. To make it seem as dramatic as possible, you guys just fucking suck. You just really do. So at the end of the day, I find it amazing This person, Nick Calandra, was trying to say that, oh, I'm not going to stop. I would fight anybody at a club or a bar or whatever the case may be. He said that he's going to face legal action. He's going to try to get legal action against Grums, and that he's tired of letting gamers slide. He's tired of letting chuds like Grums get away with things. Well, guess what? It seems like you're not actually going to follow through, because you yourself got talked to. And chances are, here's my conspiracy. I think that the people at Second Wind eventually got to Nick Calandra. I think they realized that he was becoming extremely unhinged, and that it was going to be very bad for their brand if they let him continue doing this. So they probably sat his little ass down and told him, listen, you want to fight this crusade? You can do it outside of the company. You will no longer work here if you want to continue doing this. It doesn't matter if you co-founded it or not. And after a while, he probably, after getting sat down, said, you know what, I guess I just got to pull out. So that's what he's doing. And now we have another post here from Nick Calandra saying, yes, he unprivated his Twitter account. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I'm blocked, so I really can't tell. But then he said he got some good advice, set up some good filters, remove Twitter from the phone so I can only use it during work hours again, etc. Stuff can consume you, and when you get caught up in it, it's hard to get out and not look at everything. Set boundaries. So now, okay. Hold on. So now it's amazing how their story changes so much. So the first thing was, hey, you're doing targeted harassment against us with your website, Smash JT. Now, all of a sudden, that website came back up. It changed from targeted harassment to, what was their excuse? Targeted harassment to now, oh, apparently it's defamation. They're trying to say, well, no, it's actually not targeted harassment. You're doing defamatory statements. Amazing. Now, after the defamatory statement thing fell through, because there's no actual statements on that website, all there is profile pictures, names, job titles, and articles that they themselves have written. So they can't, unless they're defaming themselves. After that argument fell through, now it became the virtue route, right? Like now they're trying to pretend as if, oh, well, you know what? I'm just too good for this. I'm going to disconnect myself from this. You guys got to set boundaries and be like me. I promise I'm not going to be on Twitter unless it's during work. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person is lying through his teeth. He's trying to pretend as if he's bowing out of the fight, but we all know at the end of the day, they can't help themselves. They are extreme narcissists. You know how many times Alyssa Mercante has threatened to leave Twitter and take a break, and she's back within 30 minutes, literally? Like, there's no way that this is going to be a thing. I'm telling you, Nick Calandra is going to come back to Twitter, and he's going to do what he always does, which is attack people that he disagrees with and try to get their money taken away from them, which is amazing, because again, that is the lowest of the low move that you can possibly do, which is to take food out of someone else's kid's mouth. But again, this is what Nick Calandra is like, and that's what he does. So he says he was going after legal action. He was heavily pursuing legal action. Let's find out if he's still actively doing that. But as of right now, it looks like he got some talking to by a higher up in the company. And now he looks like he's being a good old boy and sitting down like he should have done from the start. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.